What's up, Leafs fans? Welcome back to Leafs Digest. Well, not much to say about this one. A win is a win. We moved to 22, 8-2 on the season after game 32 this year. We have now won 4 straight. We are tied with Florida for second in points in the division with the exact same amount of games played. And we are 1 point back of the Tampa Bay Lightning as it currently sits with 2 games in hand, I should say, actually. But as far as tonight's game goes, it was a bad game. I mean, you're playing against the Edmonton Oilers, and when you play against a team like that, again, maybe it's going to be a little bit harsh on Edmonton and Edmonton as a whole here, but realistically, what should have happened tonight is what happened against Ottawa on Saturday. Yes, they have Leon Draisaitl in their lineup, but I mean, outside of Leon Draisaitl, that team sucks. The Edmonton Oilers team sucks. If you're a fan of Edmonton right now and you watch that game tonight, it should be abundantly clear that your team is hot garbage. And the only reason that you have any chance of winning any single game night in, night out is because of number 97 and number 29. And there's nothing outside of that. And for the teams playing against them, for the other teams going up night in, night out against the Edmonton Oilers, it's the easiest game plan in the world. Stop those two guys and you're going to win the game because the rest of the lineup is garbage. They're garbage. That team sucks. They have no goaltending. They have no defense. They think that Duncan Keith is still prime Olympics Norris Trophy Duncan Keith. He's not. He's out of his prime. He's a lower pairing guy at this point in his career. Darnell Nurse, flash in the pan last year is what it's looking like at this point. Maybe he'll turn it around. Who knows? But just the way he's playing this year, it's not being there. And for this team to come out there tonight with play against an Oilers team without a Connor McDavid and you go just against Leon Draisaitl, for the game to be as close as it was, it's kind of a testament to how the Leafs played tonight, realistically. Like it really showed the quality of game that this Toronto team put forth. And yes, as I said, you walk away with 2 points. It's nice. And there's different things that went on that you can't be overly upset with, but you start the game up 1 goal, great. Well, then you let them power right back and they take a 2-1 lead in that first period. This is a team that you're going against who has no confidence. They suck. They know they suck. They can't win. They're every single night it's just they cannot win. They can't do anything right. You have to step on them at that point. You score right away early in the game. You have to just shut it down right then and there. And it's easier said than done, and it is the National Hockey League, and these guys get paid to play hockey too, I get it, but when you come out that quick, you come out that early on a team that's dejected, they have no life, they're playing in your building, and they're missing their number 1 player, who is the number 1 player in the world, who is the only reason they have any chance of even putting up points and not being the Arizona Coyotes. You got to just shut it down right there and just keep rolling over them. That's what you did against Ottawa on Saturday, and that's what had to keep going tonight. There's no excuse of a back-to-back and we're tired and blah, blah, blah. You just push through and you roll right through these teams when they're that bad of a team. And now the reason I'm kind of coming at it from this angle has nothing to do with, oh, we just played a poor game or whatever. It's the quality of team that was on the other end. It's a bad team. And you can't let them have that kind of life. Now, it is good that we won the game, but there's just glaring things that kind of go on here. And we see on Saturday, like, Justin Holl gets a goal and you kind of feel good about it. And Josh and I talk after, okay, maybe he gets a little bit of life. Well, guess what? He sucked again tonight. Well, there you go. Maybe it was just because he played against the Ottawa Senators and the rest of the team was going. Everything that's bad about his game this year just got hidden. Because he was bad. He was bad again tonight. He's just turnover after turnover. Muzzin didn't look great. I mean, you want to pinpoint a play of what Muzzin's season has been this year? Look at the giveaway right up the middle that he had where McLeod basically saved this guy from being a talking point of how bad he's continued to be this year, of just a different extent of where I'm even at right now, because McLeod decides he's going to pass the puck rather than put it in a completely empty net. That was a surefire goal if he just puts it in the net there. And that's strictly related to the Muzzin turnover, where he just throws a Little Caesars hot and ready right up the middle for no good reason, because he's not looking. And him and Holl have just continued to be terrible. It is time for Liljegren to go back into this lineup. I don't know who's got to come out between Muzzin and Holl. I think probably Muzzin has to stay because he's getting paid more money. He's been around longer, and Holl has been glaringly worse. Maybe pulling Muzzin out for a couple games, it gives him a little mental smack in the head and just says, hey, buddy, like, figure it out here because we need you to get going. But that being said, if you bring him out, is Holl just going to be that much worse? Who knows what that end result's going to be? It is time for Liljegren to go back into this lineup. That's for certain. There's no other way to look at that. He has to go back in here. And I'm going to say Holl is going to be the guy that comes out. The only reason it would be anybody else was because it would be Muzzin, and it's because Muzzin would need just a wake-up call. And if you're been in the NHL for this long, you've won Stanley Cups, and you're looking at a wake-up call right now, it's probably beyond the point of a wake-up call. It's probably just that you're going to be bad. And who knows if this is just the end of where he's going to be at and he's just old now, or if he's just having a bad season so far this year. We'll kind of figure it out as things continue to go on. Hopefully he can just get out of this slump and figure it out. But as of right now, he has just been bad this year. Let's get to some of the positives before we kind of hop back into some of the negatives as we'll bounce around through this game reaction here, where the Toronto Maple Leafs did in fact beat the Edmonton Oilers 4-2, moving to 22-8-2 on the season. The Oilers were without McDavid though. It's a little bit of a little pinch of salt with that. Like you look at it and you go, take it with a grain of salt. You never know how that might have gone if McDavid was in fact in the lineup. So moving forward, Tavares, I mean, I don't know if that is going to count as his goal. If you bet on Nylander there, they awarded it as Nylander goal. They took it back and then they gave it back again. So I'm still yet to figure that one out. It did look like it tipped off of Tavares, but you jump out to an early lead. That's at least a good way to start a game. Now, I have already spoken about what happened when they give up that 2 consecutive goals to the Oilers and let them right back into the game. That's really, you just don't ever want to see that. But jumping out to the early lead is a nice way to start the game, especially against a bad team coming into town that has their morals right into the dumpster. Their morale, right into the dumpster. Now, Ilya Mikheyev, is this guy just a man reborn after this injury or what? He comes out tonight. He has 4 shots in the first period to open the game. He is flying around with his feet, shooting the puck like crazy. He's creating chances, and he's creating high-scoring opportunities, not just smacking the puck at the net. He's getting good looks, and he's taking advantage of it, which is something that last year, at least, we didn't really see much of from him. We saw him on the breakaways, which were the high-scoring chances, and he could not bury ever. But other than that, it wasn't much going on for his game. Now, last night against Ottawa, and then even in his game against Edmonton, in the game against Edmonton, he looked okay, but he also looked like a guy who missed a lot of time. In the game against Ottawa, he looked like a man possessed. He came out firing immediately. He gets 2 goals on the night. Then he follows it up tonight with another goal, and it was a beautiful goal. And honestly, to go into it, I'm going to have to give that one my awesome Matthews play of the day, because right time, right place, and he just rips it home, ends up being the game winner. Beautiful shot. And this is one of those situations where you're looking at a guy and you're going, okay, you are hungry for your spot. You are hungry to be in the lineup every single night. You are hungry to prove that you deserve a position. Maybe you deserve a position higher up, or even if you don't advance to the top 6, you just deserve more playing time, because he has been playing real well since he came back. And he is proving, hey, maybe he is a guy that should be ahead of Nick Ritchie in this whole thing, if not at least ahead of Pierre Engvall on this depth chart at this point in time. So that is one thing we're going to have to watch out for. Nick Ritchie himself is going to have to watch out for. If Ilya Mikheyev continues to play the way that he's been playing since he came back, Nick Ritchie's spot is the farthest possible thing from safe at this point in time. So Nick Ritchie, you better watch yourself with Ilya Mikheyev playing the way that he is. Now, another guy who looked pretty good tonight, I know that I touched on the goal, no goal, and getting the payouts, not getting the payouts. William Nylander, he did look good again tonight. I was a little harsh on him after last game where he just looked a little bit Nylander-like, but tonight he looked strong again. He looked confident, he looked fast, he was carrying the puck well. taking good shots, good opportunities. So I liked what I saw from William Nylander tonight, despite him getting a goal, not getting a goal. He does end up with 2 points on the night, so good night for him, and he did look good again. All right, let's go into one of the negatives here, and maybe this is a just me thing. You guys let me know in the comments, and again, if you guys are not subscribed to this channel, hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 2,000 subscribers. Every single subscriber along the way counts, so we appreciate all of the subscribers, all the support, all the love you guys have given. Thank you guys so much, but beyond that, let me know in the comments what you think, if this is just a me thing, if Josh and I should do a video on this coming up, because I brought it up after last game. This is more of a tinfoil hat type conspiracy theory thing at this point in time, but we'll see as this continues to progress. Is it time to just gas Mitch Marner from this power play? This power play was humming along. First and second units playing incredibly well, and you know what the missing or the changed piece in all of it was? Mitch Marner not playing on the power play. They were passing the puck better. They weren't looking for the perfect opportunity every single time. There weren't guys hanging on, and then doing a little chintzy little flip shot on the net, and then giving their pouty little peewee face after it's saved, and they get changed and they have to go to the bench. Since Mitch Marner's come back, that first unit has been rather ineffective, and beyond just not scoring goals, they just haven't looked cohesive. They haven't looked together. They haven't looked threatening when they're on the ice. The second unit is the unit that's continued to score goals for them the last 2 games on the power play. And yeah, you're not going to score power play goals every single game from your first unit. I get it. But to me, it's just a weird trend that Marner comes back and all of a sudden, whoa, the first unit can't score goals anymore. Maybe this guy just needs to get off that first power play unit. I don't even know if he needs to be on, he's too skilled to not be on the power play, but it's just one of those frustrating things where you're going, dude, maybe you're just not, you shouldn't be on this power play at all, first or second units, because the second unit is getting goals. The first unit was getting goals without you. Why would we throw you into the mix and just ruin things there? Maybe put him on the second unit and try to facilitate some different things. Put Spezza back on the first one, change some stuff. I don't know. But at this point, it's almost becoming it is fully my own personal conspiracy, but is Mitch Marner just a problem for power play number 1? Is he creating problems for them? I don't know. It's a weird thing to look at. It's a weird thing to watch every single night. And it just feels frustrating watching them because as much as you don't want to be old man yelling at cloud or guy sitting in the stands yelling shoot, you are when you watch him with the puck on the power play. It's just holding it for too long, getting yourself into a bad spot, and then he always does these sad little flip passes and flip shots that do absolutely nothing, are insanely ineffective. They are just the farthest thing from being able to produce anything for this offense, and it's just becoming frustrating to watch. Outside of that, I mean, we talked about Mikheyev coming back, Holl being bad, Muzzin being bad again, Marner's power plays, William Nylander having a good night. Now, one guy, and I know this isn't a guy that you're going to look at and say, oh my God, the Leafs need this guy, because if they do, that is a very sad statement about this team, but it is a guy that is very, very helpful, and it's one guy that's going to be insanely helpful come playoff time, and it becomes abundantly clear when he's out of the lineup, Ondrej Kase. There's a couple reasons, but the biggest one in particular is energy. And now certain guys, you can tell they bring energy to the lineup in terms of how vocal they are and how just positive they are as people and all that kind of stuff. This guy, you can tell, has a little bit of all of that, but he has at least the ability to go 110% every single time that he's on the ice. He hits guys, he gets in the dirty areas, he is creating things, he is blocking shots like nobody's business, and he creates scoring chances, driving the net, getting in scrums. This guy brings so much energy, and he brings it with all of this skill and speed and physicality that is really, really important for teams that are going to have success come playoff time. I mean, you even look over at Tampa and you look at guys that they brought in, Blake Coleman, Barclay Goodrow. These are guys that they have a lot of speed and physicality, but they bring energy. They're not scared, and then they have skill to go along with it. They're not the most skilled guys, but they have skill. They have that ability. Yes, everyone wants to sit and say, we need fighters. We need guys who punch guys in the face. Whatever. If you have guys come playoff time that will go in the corner and just get creamed and get right back up and drive the net and then tip a puck in or bat a rebound or start a scrum, that is a guy that brings intensity and brings passion and elevates everyone's game come playoff hockey. That is what Ondrej Kase is. We don't need this guy to win, but he is very helpful, and it is noticeable when he's out of the lineup what things are missing from him not being there. So as far as Ondrej Kase goes and his play, I would love to see this guy back. I hope he's okay in the long run here. But I mean, for the Leafs tonight, you score 3 or more goals in 13 straight games. It's a good streak. You continue to score. Jack Campbell continues to be incredible. 28 saves tonight, 2 goals against, a .933 save percentage. He is one of the best goaltenders, if not the best goaltender in the NHL this season. The guy has been an absolute stud and 110% deserves at least Vezina candidacy nominations. I don't know if he's going to be a lock to win it or if he should win it by the end of this season, but at this current moment in time, he deserves all the credit, all the accolades, all of the respect. And if he is not, he deserves even more than we've already been giving him, because this guy has been incredible. He has been saving this team, bailing them out on certain occasions, helping them, and stealing wins for them, which is something we haven't really seen from goaltenders before with this Leafs team, is stealing wins. That is what Jack Campbell has been doing here. This guy is a stud. He deserves to be in the Vezina consideration. But let's get to our grades of the game. All right, grade of the game here tonight. I'm going to keep this one real simple. I'm going with a C. It's just a slow, sloppy game. You're playing a bad team missing their best player. And let's be honest, they only got 2 players, because outside of that, they suck. They're missing Nugent Hopkins. Mike Smith is no good. They're not going to put Mikko Koskinen in because Dave Tippett hates that guy. I just absolutely hates him. You just didn't come with enough energy to sustain it throughout. It was just sloppy all the way through. It was a little bit frustrating. There's turnovers. You do manage to win the game, but it can't be looked at as good enough to go, oh my God, okay, we deserve a good grade on this one. Because no, it was just bad. It was a sloppy game. There needed to be a lot more brought here. I was not overly impressed with this one, so a C is my grade of the game. But hey, the Leafs do win this one 4-2 against the Edmonton Oilers in game 32 of the season. We move to 22-8-2. And if you want to look at the silver lining, you move on from this one. You get 2 points. You don't even just get one sneak away. You get 2 points. You get the win. You can move on from this one, and you are tied with the Florida Panthers in the standings for points. You have the same number of games played. You're 1 point back of the Tampa Bay Lightning. You have 2 games in hand on them. Things are looking good for the standings, for the NHL league standings at this point in time. So we got to keep this rolling. We've won 4 straight at this point in time. As I mentioned, you've scored 3 or more in 13 straight games. So good stuff there. Jack Campbell continues to be a stud. Nylander looks good tonight. Mikheyev getting himself on the board. Maybe this guy is just going to be a scorer for the rest of the season. Who knows? We'll see what happens there. But Leafs fans, we will see you guys after the next game, Saturday, January 8th at 7 p.m. against the Colorado Avalanche. Keep believing.